Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome to Live with Georgia. It's Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and we are here for a Live with Georgia show. Tonight, $10 questions, 100% of the proceeds go to Friends of Creacon program. In the description below, you have all the information you would want to know and learn about Creacon Wellness Retreat, which is an amazing retreat center in Ireland that has amazing people running it, amazing accommodation, amazing hospitality, absolutely everything about them. Their whole program, they run yoga programs, meditation programs, learn how to de-stress your life programs, learn how to apply high spiritual teachings into your life programs. They're doing a lot of stuff online, so check them out. CreaconWellnessRetreat.com. And their Friends of Creacon program is a program where we send in money, and in exchange, we connect to the energy of this amazing place. Hi, Ali, how are you? Very nice to see you. Beautiful piece of decoration. Yes, I was just letting the Thunderbird have a little bit of energy the side today. How's that? Then we can get rid of, I can't avoid the sight of the end of my big fabric here. Doesn't matter. But there's a bit of thunder coming out on the left side, and I love the fact that it's on spirit side, right? So I had a wonderful day today. I hope you've had a really good day. It's just so sunny and so warm and so beautiful in New York. It's been really quite cold this week. We've had a cold snap, but today was just absolutely perfect. And we celebrated. Hi, G. How are you? Thanks for coming back. We celebrated my youngest son's 6th birthday, which was awesome. And so I had a moment to rest, which has been very good because we were running around in the park, dragging things up and downstairs. But we're all ready to go here tonight. I'm so excited to be reading the cards. If you are ready to ask a question, the place to send your money to, your $10 to, and I'm going to take down everyone's name and make sure that your name goes on the list of people who have donated to Creacon. You will get that energy exchange. Trust me, you will feel it. And I'll let you know the exact date that I do that. So this is Saturday, and it is April 24th. Jenny, hello, welcome. Rebecca, hello, Rebecca. Oh, dear, Rebecca was with me, and without Rebecca, she was my backbone today. I couldn't have done it without you. So we, oh my goodness, we dragged up all of our party stuff from our home all the way down the steps into a wonderful, wonderful place. If you haven't visited Riverside Park, you must. It's just a beautiful park with this restaurant that's in it too, called Ellington in the Park. It's really amazing. We didn't go to the restaurant. We had a little picnic birthday happening ourselves. But there's just so much to do. They've got a big sandbox. They've got sort of rings. It's just a great place. You're amazing. I know. I just threw nothing looked right. This who cares? I tried to, as I was choosing what I was doing tonight, I was just thinking of all the things that I'm doing wrong. I didn't fix my hair. This is all windswept. But, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like the imperfection, the perfection in the imperfection. I feel good, and I think that's what matters. And I hope that that's why we're here, right? We're here to uplift one another. And when I read the cards, and this is what I teach, when I teach you how to read the cards, I teach you to look and find the most uplifting version of whatever the cards are saying, simply because nobody needs to hear, there's one thing where you call a spade, right? You got to tell it like it is. But what you don't want to do is shock somebody. I never want to be shocked when I go for a tarot reading. I certainly don't want to be glossed over. I want to know exactly what's happening. And then I also want some solutions, or at least some kind of pathway into a better state of being, or a higher state of feeling, or a better connection with myself and my source and my mission, right? And so when I do a reading, that's what I hope to do with you, so you can book a reading with me, and you can see testimonials of people who had readings with me. And whoops, look at these cards popping out. these are the cards that have popped out for today. The World card. I can definitely feeling one with the world, feeling great with the world. Isn't it? Have a sunny day. Everything feels good. Everything feels right. Everything's always working out for us when it's a nice sunny day. That's the power of the sun. It's so interesting because at the birthday party today, and you'll remember this, Rebecca, I brought some paints and some little canvases so that the children could, if they wanted to, paint their own picture. And it was interesting that the girls, more than two, actually, three, were painting the sun and the energy of the sun and the love of the sun. And it was so beautiful. You know, there was just so much color and yellow and white. Issa, I think, painted the setting sun, and another girl painted a sort of exploding sun, explosions on the sun. So it's amazing how powerful the sun is just when it's shining so much, and how it affects us, and really creatively how it was affecting the children today. It was really quite amazing. And I wish I had examples to show you, but do I? No, I don't. Hopefully someone has sent me some of the pictures. I hope. I don't have them, but if my husband comes around, I might ask him to do that. So this is me today. This represents me today. We were collaborating, having a party today, feeling at one with the world, feeling fabulous with the sun shining, making everyone feel good. And when everyone feels good, you feel good, right? It's that mass effect. So, Jenny, you paid for a reading. I am ready for you. You let me know, Jenny, and you're my first, and I'm making sure that you go on my list. Let me know. Do you want a general reading? Would you like this is me writing on this little table and the whole thing shakes. Sorry about that. Jenny, so what kind of a reading would you like? And remember, my readings on this channel, and I said this, but I've forgotten to say it every week, they're for entertainment purposes only, because in the state of New York, you're not allowed to be a fortune teller. And I don't fortunes. I believe what I do, or what anyone does with the tarot, is uncover and tap into what goes on in this very moment. And then I think I've said this so many times before, when we look at a past, present, and future spread, or we ask what is going to happen in the future, this isn't about fortune telling. This is about telling what is happening right here in this moment that is affecting what the future looks like. Right? So when we put down a card for the future, we're like, well, this is what you're manifesting. This is what you appear to be manifesting right now with your thoughts, words, and actions. How does that look to you? I can tell you what it looks like to me, but when we talk about it, is that what you want to manifest? So how can you manifest desire? Then we pull some more cards. Well, what if you do this, or what if you do that? Or let spirit tell us what should we do, right? And we always pull some extra cards, and it always makes more sense later. So should we do that, Jenny? Does that sound good? Should we give you a general reading, or do you have something specific? And Ali, you're next. Thank you so much. Just write questions down, and then I'll pop in, and I'll make sure that I scroll back up to see them, right? So waiting for Jenny to let me know if she wants a general reading or something specific, because I'm very happy to answer any specific questions. Sometimes the more specific, the better. Sometimes we can really dig a little hole into a particular sort of topic, and then you get more detail in the short period of time that we have together, right? Wonderful. Jenny says, yikes. Okay, general reading, please. From the present to the next 3 months. Wonderful. That made it so easy for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one card for the present, and then one card for the next 3 months, which will be, so let's see, the present moment is April, right? And the next 3 months will be May, June, July. Fun, right? Let's do that. So here we go. We are going to, and while I'm here, I was about to send a friend of mine who her son hasn't been feeling well. I'm about to send her one of these, and I hope this comes in. I used to have one of these sitting behind me, and I've put it, but this is a symbol called the Prima Prana Huti, breath of life. And this flower of life pattern, you've probably seen the internet with this incredible Merkaba, the 6-pointed star with a light. And this is this, when you look at this symbol, I mean, really, it's quite enlightening just on its own. The colors are very high vibrational. I feel they're angelic. And the flower of life pattern is also very powerful in its own right. And I think if you have heard of Melchizedek and all these ascended masters, you know, they do talk about the flower of life pattern and the sacred geometry that's in here. But this particular symbol, I you know, encourage you to read up more about it, and you'll find out more about it on DerekO'Neill.com. But I just wanted to send that energy out to everybody, and also from Andy. She was in California when the California fires were raging, maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, and she had one of these on her front door, behind on her front door, right? And her house was the first one hit. Now, around her, in those fires, about 100 houses burnt to the ground, and hers was the only one standing. And she believes, when she was telling this story, that it is the power of this particular symbol, Prima Pranahudi, plus the flower of life pattern, this whole thing, this card is what she had on her door. She believes it's the power of this symbol that kept her house from burning to the ground like everyone else's, because there was so much devastation at that point that it was almost, you know, it's incredible to believe that it wouldn't have gone down. But this is where you hear of these miracles, because of the power of the divine intervention. And, you know, this symbol and this card, you know, holds a lot of powerful energy. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. So I hope you've enjoyed that little hit. Oh, G says wearing one now. Well done. Well done. I have one. And because I like to wear costume jewelry on the show, I kind of stick it into my bra. But I'm almost never without one. It just makes me feel good. I'm happy for you. So back to Jenny. Jenny, what we're doing is we are pulling a card at the present moment. And we're just going to connect. Present moment, Jenny. Next 3 months. 1. Present moment, Jenny, is the 7 of Cups. So 7 of Cups is very interesting. We talked about the 1 to 10 Cups, and today we'll be talking about the Pentacles, so very exciting. The cups are emotions, and the element is water. And here you have, this is almost like what do I want? What do I desire? What's in my heart for manifestation? What am I kind of pulling on? So you're at this place right now, Jenny, where you're kind of thinking to yourself and being with yourself and saying, what do I want to manifest? What do I want to reach for? What do I want to bring into this world from spirit? What do I want to pull out of the ethers into the physical? It's a bit like the magician should be standing here for you, even though sometimes this is like darkness and there's confusion. I don't get that there's confusion for you. I feel like you're at a candy store and you're at this moment in life where you're like, gosh, I could have whatever I want. I really can. I've manifested everything I've wanted in my life so far, and here I am just waiting for the next thing. I wonder what's coming. And if you kind of follow the thread of Abraham Hicks and the vortex thinking, imagine yourself that you're in the vortex and be in the vortex. And in fact, the next 3 cards for the next 3 months show you doing that. So let me show you why and how. The first one is the Hermit. And if there's anyone who represents being in the vortex, it's the Hermit, because he's done all the work. He's cleared himself to get to the top of the mountain, and he's put the teachings into practice. He's gained the wisdom. And so this is like Jesus, you know, who went off into on his sabbatical, disappeared for years, and then came back an enlightened master. This is the Hermit doing that. So this is your next month. This is April was this. May is the Hermit. So, you know, you may be very well go in to your inner sort of guru during May, the month of May, to really kind of dig deep and say, well, what is it that I want to do? How am I going to shine the light for others? Because I've learned a lot on my spiritual path I've done a lot of work, and I know you have, Jenny. You've been through a lot of initiations. You've gained a lot of credibility, right? Because you are worthy of everything that you've achieved. You've done the hard work. So what to do with it now? And this might be that space where you just go in and you wait for that inspired action, because it's a very quiet card, you know. So May's kind of like feels quiet, but you're doing a lot on the inside, right? You'll be going in and you'll be tapping into, what is it that I want to bring to the world? Because the Hermit is the path of service. So for anyone, this is the number 9. For anyone with a life path number 9, you're really holding the consciousness of this Hermit. And in numerology, you can see the paint. The kids were painting and I was painting with them. Well, in the end, actually, I didn't want to pack up because I wanted to do some painting. So, yeah, this is like going in. The next month is going in. That was May. Now, wow, the month after that, you go even deeper. So the Hermit, remember, has started his journey and is in the physical. The High Priestess, she's not in the physical. She's in the ethers. She's holding the Akasha. She's holding the Taurus. She's holding all of the sacred texts. So I feel the next 2 months are going to be a deep dig, right? Jenny, yep, yay, wow. This is exactly it. This is it, yes, right? Just before you launch off. Because what happens, this is May, June. What happens in July? What? The opportunity arrives, right? So after this 2 months of, you know, internal focus and you know, reaching for, you know, the High Priestess also alludes to, because of her connection with the Akashic records, she alludes to, you know, things and in our part are destined. So you may have done your shamanic course and felt, wow, I feel like I've done this in a past life. She also represents, you know, because of the Akasha, everything that has ever happened in your life, in all of our lives really, and anything that is about to happen is already written. Of course, we are the creators of our, you know, current experience, and so you have the capacity to come into your Akasha through your internal connecting, right? You come into the Akasha and you say, well, what is it that I want to create? Moving forward into this new dimension, into this new age, this new Aquarian age, where love is paramount, where love for one another is paramount, where, you know, how can I contribute, firstly, to improve my own well-being and that of others. So you don't have to wait until you're completely 100% or feel like, wow, I've got it made, now I can help others. You can do that while you're achieving that for yourself. And in fact, it's said that if you are in service in this way, then it helps you on your path to increased well-being, health and well-being, right? That's also on the spiritual path for those. So this is why the High Priestess is here to say, and look at these wonderful, I just feel like what you're about to do is going to be so fruitful. And in May, June, July, and in July, here comes this opportunity. It's either going to come like an inspirational idea, or it's going to be somebody who talks to you and says, hey, how about this? This might already be brewing inside you, and you may already be thinking about something, but the timing isn't right? But here this comes to say the timing is now. Now is the time for you to do that which it is that you've been thinking about. Or this opportunity comes in and you're like, of course, I've been contemplating and I've been asking, what's my next step? And then the universe brings it in and it's obvious what my next step is. Jenny, does that not sound like that's exactly where you're at? And it's almost like it's the next level up, right? You're taking a step up and moving into this exciting new endeavor. Now, when it comes in the form of swords, remember swords are intellect, intuition, thought, so it's the energy of, you're going to connect, to what it is that's happening. It's an idea. This is like an inspirational idea, but it's divinely inspired. So just know that that's coming for you. Really, very, very clear. So you don't have to worry right now, right? So here you are at this place. Oh, I don't know. You're going to take the right action, and you're going to have, the kind of the right reward based on this action that's happening in the next few months, in the next couple of months for the third month. I'm so excited for you, Jenny. I wish this is exactly where I'm at, and I love the reading, divining inspired. Thank you, Jenny. You are inspiring. All that you've done. I know you're a life coach, but if you want to tell us what kind of a life coach you are, if you want to put in your Instagram handle or wherever it is that you're posting, let us know, because you're an incredible shaman, a love shaman, and a life coach. So let us know, please. I want people to kind of own whatever it is that they want to own and share it. This is the platform for it. There are people who don't know you, who should know. We should all know each other. In fact, sometimes people turn up and everybody knows one another. But I think here where we don't know one another, right? Okay, Ali, I've got your question here. I'm just shuffling the cards. I'm about to choose your cards. Here we go. Now, I've been working on some cards. I think I mentioned I was working on a deck, right? And this soul card deck, right? It's inspired by the Arcturians. So the Arcturians are a group of cosmic beings that live on the planet Arcturus, and many people have connected with them over the years and written channelings and books on them. And so have I. I've felt like I've connected with them. And I decided to make my own deck. So this is how far I've gotten. I've cut bits of paper up, right, and put down little bits of writing. So I'm sharing with you my little secret, even though I've kind of mentioned it. There are 25 plus 35, 60 cards, and only 25 of them are illustrated, and it'll be in watercolor. I've yet to do that, but these are the cards. These are the what's the word? These are the template cards, right? Oh, here's Jenny telling us what she does. Wonderful. Life transformed coach. I love that, but haven't got my act together yet as far as getting it out there. Well, you just have. Life transformed coach. I love the fact that transformed means that it's already happened, so that when someone comes to meet with you, their life is transformed, right? So I remember when I was looking to get pregnant, I was meeting with all these infertility doctors, and it bothered me that they were calling themselves infertility doctors. And it wasn't until I came upon the new NYU Fertility Center that I realized these are the people for me, because what you want is someone to plug into your desire to become fertile and to make it happen, right? So I hope, and I think a lot of places have started to change their wording around, right? Because infertility implies that's what it is, and there's no change. Already transformed, already done, just revealed. I love that. So you've got life transformed. And I think words really matter. They really matter. And when I teach to people to read the tarot, as I do my best to live up to this, the words that we use, we're sharing a reading, when we're having a reading together, are important, because words manifest. Thoughts, if they're aligned, if our thoughts and our words are aligned with our actions, forget about it. That's the best integrity for a manifestation, right? But once it's spoken, it becomes manifest. And that's as ancient as the Bible, and even more ancient than that in the Vedas, right? The ancient scripts, for those that believe in those. But back to these cards, just want to share one. So this is the template. This is the Divine Father card. I've kind of based them. I've kind of chosen cards where in the traditional Rider-Waite, I've connected with, say, the Magician, So this would be the magician equivalent, even though I have like 25 cards, which is many more than the major arcana. So they're not really, it's not a tarot based deck. It's going to be an oracle deck or a soul card deck. And I want to use them in the same way that I use the tarot. It's just that they're going to be very personalized, and potentially I'll print them and have others use them too. But I'll see, right? That's a process. So this is the Divine Father card, and here is the I am principle, right? The manifestation of energy, the use of energy, and the fact that energy never dies, right? Yes, love the I am presence noting. So powerful, right? It's in the heart center, right? And so it comes from the throat, the thymus, and the heart. And there we have manifestation over those 3 chakras, right? I can't wait to make them. Can't wait till they finally. And once I wrap up the live show on YouTube, that's where my energy will be going. I'll be looking to paint them up and manifest them and get them, in the next 3 months if I can. Ali, you've been working on the I am. Yeah, I mean, your spiritual sort of presence is very strong. Yeah, absolutely. It's I think I've spoken about this before, and the Buddha talks about our capacity, our thought manifests our world, right? And the first 2 words, I am transformed. How can it not happen? If you say I am transformed, the only way it can't happen is if there is some resistance in the system that has just spoken those words that is echoing in the background, I am not transformed. There's no way I'm transformed, or I'm in fear of being transformed. That would prevent that transformation from being present right there. Right? And so we do that work. We do the work with the shamans. We do the work with the energy healers. We do everything to lift our vibration to the point where once we say, I am transformed, it happens miraculously. It's not a miracle because I'll tell you why it's not a miracle. It is a miracle, but it looked like a miracle. But what's happened is that there's an energetic work that's happened beforehand to take you to that moment where there's an opening, a true opening, where there's transformation, that once you've said I am transformed, the universe says of course you are, and that you have zero resistance in your system because you've done all the work, and then the transformation happens. Looks like a miracle, but actually there's a lot that's happened, right, either through lifetimes or this lifetime, to create that effortless opening. It's coming from somewhere. So, Ali, this is for you. Is A interested in me romantically? Thank you. Here's a guy, just so you know. Let's ask. Have we asked about A before? Let's ask. And energy shifts, doesn't. So even before, could be last week A was thinking this. What's A thinking now? I believe having your own individualism, says Ellie, beyond what my parents and society has taught me. Absolutely. So we've been programmed by our parents and our teacher and our relationships and everything that we've experienced in life, right? Every habit, every program we've practiced. We're not carbon copies, right? Because we've taken genetic material, we've turned on certain genes, we've switched off other genes, we've made conscious choices not to do what, parent A used to do, or what parent B, or I'm not going to express this part, or I am going to express that part. Sometimes that's easy, sometimes that's not. I've certainly experienced the unconscious expressing of, my programs and found it difficult to stop, right? And it does take work and time. Look at this. This is for you, Ali. This is the card that popped out. Why? And I was just talking about the difficulty. I don't think you have any difficulty at all. I believe you must have come out of the womb being like, I'm not going to take any of their genetic material. I'm going to be my own person. Watch me ride my beautiful horse and throw my gorgeous flag and have a look at all these sunflowers that are looking at me. And this is interesting because the sunflowers are looking at you. The sunflowers are looking at your sun, how you shine the sun, how you reflect the sun to everybody around you, That's love, right? Sun love. We were talking about the sun today and the power of the sun to move people. And this is you. This is you. This is the card that popped out. So let's go back to your question because I've been popping around a little. Here we go. Here we go. The question I want to be exact on, right? You've always loved sunflowers. Sunflowers have so much sun energy. And, you know, my ears are a little itchy from the the chips. I don't know. Ask Daddy.
From my birthday party.
Yeah, there's a packet of chips in the kitchen. Ask Daddy. He's the birthday boy. So I just have to close the door. And sunflowers. So sunflowers are the symbol of psychic mediumship. So I wonder if you have that capacity, that intuitive capacity to tap into spirit. No, you can't have these, sweetheart. Well, I can't help you right now. Albert, can you help Theo?
Oh, stop. Asking stuff.
You can't have that candy, sweetheart. I'm so sorry.
Then
you can have the chips. Daddy will give you the chips.
No, I want these.
Albert, can you help Theo understand he can't have all this candy? No. I know he wants
it.
This. Oh, Daddy's going to help you right here.
This.
It's all right. Okay, good boy. Just take one, not all of them. We got a lot of candy. I just so that you know what I'm talking about. I bought some Redskins. This is classic Australian, candy, and so it's not. You won't be familiar with it if you've grown up in America, but I'm sure the Allen brand, there's an equivalent in America. I think the people that make Hershey's, although I'm not entirely true. And so this is what it looks like. Can you see the candy that's coming out? It's like Fee, right? Iffy Taffy or Liffy Taffy. It's kind of the same. But I bought some Aussie treats, some minties, and yeah, let's get the card. This is the sun card with the sunflowers. And I suspect you have very strong intuition. All right, let's see if we can get it back. We can't get the oh, well, I'm blurred right now. Don't worry, my camera will there's nothing you need to see on me. We only need to see the cards. So the sunflowers do represent that. And I believe it's because of their connection with the sun and the sun being spirit, right? And so I suspect you have very deep intuition and that is something that you've known or you know about. Look at the success. Look at that beautiful feather of Mart. And Mart is, I'm just going to look this up in my, I'm just pulling up something here. EDF. All right, it's not coming up. But I suspect, Ali, that you already have fairly strong intuition about this potential relationship with A, right? And that it's difficult when we are doing relationship readings for ourselves because our emotions get in the way, our desires get in the way, right? Because we want it so much. If the cards start feeding into our fears, so they become very difficult to read. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to your question. Interested in me romantically. So I think you've asked, how does A feel about me? What does A think of me? Is A interested in you romantically? We got an ace. Now, how many times have I pulled, asked a question and really wanted to see an ace? When you get an ace, it's a yes. It's a validation. It's a yes, absolutely. There's nobody who could look at an ace and say, well, it's look shady here. There's no shade. It's like the sun is out in the sun, right? It's like the sun is out. There's almost no shade. Even the mountains look great. There's no, the sky is completely clear. In this beautiful section of the card, you've got a bit of spirit. To me, this looks like a little wombat, doesn't it? And up in this corner, a little marmot or, a beaver, this kind of little animal up here. So what would that animal represent? They're very grounded. They're always on the ground. They're always on the side of the road when you're driving by. And why are they up there in the clouds? So the energy of the beaver is here with you today. So you might want to look that up. And the pentacle is about the material world, the physical world. And so this is an offering. So is he thinking of you romantically? The answer has to be yes. I couldn't say anything else. It is yes. Now, if we were to say, well, when's it going to manifest? Is it manifesting now? So it's kind of, you're getting closer. It's like you're stepping closer and closer to it, right? So you've gone past the point where things were questionable or there was real doubt mixed in with the picture, right? And you've moved forward from that because you're now on the edge about to take a trip. So when will it become, more physical? Or I'm just assuming this for you, right? So let's do this in weeks. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. I got 2 weeks because I got the 9 of Cups, right? So in terms of, and I'll just keep going. So that was 8 weeks and 9 weeks. So when I got the Ace on 9 weeks, so something will happen in the next couple of weeks that I think you'll be happy with, right? And then at 9 weeks, you get an Ace. All of the other cards are like nothing much to say about them. And I could start telling a story, but it's very important that you don't go into any fear, right? Or any kind of self-doubt. Stay happy. Just stay in that space of knowing that it's destined for you to have a relationship, be it with someone else, but it clearly is a great vibration, fantastic vibration, right? Stay happy, even if it hasn't manifested physically at this point, although potentially it has, right? Because we got an absolute validation that at 2 weeks. By 9 weeks, which takes us into, so 1 month would take us into end of May, 2 months would take us end of June. And so around June, first week of July, you've got this Ace of Cups. So something has shifted. This is kind of the midsummer or kind of the height of summer. And the energy of that feels really, really good, right? So this is in terms of timing. But so does 2 weeks. So do you have to do anything, right? Is there anything for you to do? I don't know what questions. I'm just making them up for you, Ali, because we're here. We're all together. No, but I don't think anyone else has donated. So we could just, Jenny and Ali donated, right? And then we could just ask some other questions or we could move through the pentacles, which are fun, right? Super fun. So my earrings are making me itchy. I think when you don't wear earrings every day sometimes, because they're stainless steel hoops. And stainless steel is anti-allergic. I don't know if anyone else has that problem with their earrings. I always used to get allergies too. Ali says, yes, sounds good. So, okay, now I need to think about what I said we would do. Is there anything you need to do? All right, is there anything? This one popped out. Stay put. Here he is, King of Cups. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. Just know that it's coming and just be, be well, be happy in your place of being. I mean, this king, can ride emotions. He can be present in a storm and not sink. He's got a fish necklace, which you can see. There it is. He's got a little fish on the necklace. He's got a fish popping out of water. He's got, what else does he have? He's got scales on his feet. So he represents Pisces, doesn't he? Quite significantly. There are shells up here in his crown. There are clam-like shell, the symbol of this clam in his crown. We've got lots of cups. We've got two, this is a cup. This is also a cup. And this is a wonderful scepter. Actually, his scepter is also a cup. There are 3 cups here. So he manifests energy as well. He's a great manifester. Cups is emotion. Absolutely. So that's why I say, you know, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what's coming up for you, if you're feeling anything other than happiness and kind of that sense of anticipatory joy, joy and anticipation around this wonderful sort of developing relationship, don't entertain it. Just stay light, stay easy, and stay on top of the water. No, don't sink into it. Susan, my friend, how are you? Susan is a very good friend from Australia. And what time is it there? It must be something like 9:44, almost 10 a.m. You don't have to apologize. This is early for you, right? And I'm so happy you're here. And I got your text, and I'm so sorry. I don't know if I texted you back, but I've been organizing Theo's birthday party like a madwoman the last few days. So please forgive me. And you came on as the King of Cups was drawn. It is a sign because you're a Pisces. I know that. I was thinking about you. It's 8:45 a.m. Oh, so we're 2 hours. So it must be that Sydney has had a daylight. You've had your daylight savings, right? So you're in sort of winter time, or it's not daylight savings anymore. That's great. There's only 12 hours difference between New York City and Sydney. You're only 12 hours ahead. Awesome. So the cups is emotion. So stay even would be the word. Stay even. Regardless, he's not contacting you or not. It doesn't look like he's romantically inclined. Don't worry about it. Don't question it, because all of that concern, that worry, that questioning, that doubting creates resistance in your vibration and prevents that which you want coming to you, right? And so stay in that place. What else could you do with your time? What do you do with your time, Ellie? What do any of us do with our time? What can you do? Yes, there's a sense of destiny for things. You know, when the High Priestess turns up, she's all about going in because she's highly intuitive, tapping into our inner resources. But even if you don't want to do that, her energy is just staying quiet, staying still, not really worrying about anything, because if it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not meant to be, it won't ever be, right? You can't pull something toward you, because if you're desiring something so hard and you haven't dropped that sort of need to have it, then that desire and that need to have it creates resistance. It's almost like you can't win. It's like you make the wish and then you forget about it. That's what we're told by these incredibly masters of manifestation. You claim it to be so, already transformed, and then you forget it, and then transformation has to come. It's the law. She's all about the law of attraction. It's like you're doubting. Yes, that's right. Right? Because if it's almost like our children. So there's something around patience, right? So the kids, why aren't the balloons here? Or we're waiting for something. They're waiting. Well, where are all the friends? How come they're not arriving at the party today? And that question only creates more sort of dissatisfaction and disturbance, right, in you. But if you just say, well, they're either going to come or they're not, or they're potentially going to be here soon, or something that's soothing for your soul. And I feel this is what's soothing for your soul. So stay in that space where you remain soothed, where you don't allow any sort of emotion to topple you into any kind of state of ill-being. Right? So we got to stay out of our headspace more often. We need to go swimming in the ocean like our friend Arena. And I'd love to be swimming in the ocean. Susan, I hope you've been swimming in the ocean for me. You went back an hour at Easter. This is in Australia. Anything else we can add to that, Ali? Any? Do you want to? I suppose we've had two people. I could just keep going. We're in 44 minutes. We've still got another 46 to go. I could start picking out all the pentacles now. Well, we've talked about the Ace of Pentacles. Ali says, I just noticed my question wasn't going, though I asked, is there something he likes about me? I watched a movie. Now I have to remember what it was called. It was a movie on Amazon Prime, and in this movie, this young man had met this woman who he thought was his soulmate, and then he kind of didn't make any moves on the night that they met, and she kind of, at the end of the night, they hugged each other, and you had to exit out. Shelley, hello. Shelley says, a friend said the High Priestess is about waiting till you're ready. Yes, I love that. I wish I could pull her back up, but I started shuffling. About waiting. So waiting, it has the same energy of patience, right? Because we have, in some ways, they say patience is a virtue. Patience being something that we wish that we had sometimes when we don't have it. But this idea of, there's no movement around the High Priestess, right? And what she's doing is she's in a place of absolute communion with the understanding of all the spiritual laws, right? And waiting till you're ready, this idea of, allowing whatever to be here right now, in the knowing that it's meant for you, it's going to be here. So there's almost like you can let go of anything and almost everything if you stay as close to this moment as possible, right? Because there's divine time. I think Shelley, what your friend's talking about is divine timing, divine readiness. And that, for a lot of people, for me, I can say that it's been difficult to talk about, to think, something divine timing. Sometimes you can only say it in retrospect. Well, that was divine timing. When we're looking at, well, I'm expecting this, or I want this, it'll happen in divine timing. So that's a very high level of spiritual living, right? To be able to say, I really desire this, and it will happen in divine timing, and then you never pick it up again. There's something very still and very quiet, very gentle and very purposeful in doing that, because you are then able to move on and do whatever else you want. Your energy doesn't get stuck anywhere. Oh, good. Jenny's got another part of the question. Another question. Is there something he likes about me? So, because we're going to pull a card. And then, Jenny, I'll come to you. What does he like about you? I love this card. I'm sorry I laughed. There's two things that pop out to me. I think he likes the way that you look, right? Because I don't know if you're short, but there's a sense that he may even like your height. There's a sense of, and how you and he kind of fit together or look together. So there's one is the appearance of this. So there's an offering from this figure to this figure. And, she has a glove on, which is interesting. Is this a place is this a cold place? Is it a wintry place? Although we have flowers, so it indicates spring. Is she the gardener? Is this person helping her? We don't really know, right? But there's an offering happening. And because it's a cup, it's an emotional offering. And so we can also then say, okay, he likes the way you look. And then we can say he also likes the way you emote, right? That there's a sharing or appreciation for the way that you are emotionally together, or the way you emote, right? Yali says, I always thought that card to be cute. It looks pure, yes, and people associate it with children. because of it, that purity, right? That sense of giving and receiving, and so much to give. There's an abundance here as well. So there's no doubt, really. I mean, of course, there's an X on this block, which is, could stand out, but this is an emblem. This obviously belongs to the castle, or, there's someone here in the garden of there could be like a massive garden that's here, and they're at the edge of it, right near the castle, and here is the offering. Here, these are the flowers that I've picked today, and you can have one of them. Right? It's very sweet. Are you petite? Isn't that wonderful? So we can just say he likes you. He likes your petite size. That's wonderful. You can't make it up that card would be picked, and there we have a petite person receiving a cup. That's wonderful. Well, Ali, thank you for your question. You will be receiving some energy from the Friends of Creacon donation. And Jenny, we're coming to you. And then after that, Jenny, I think we'll go through the 1 to 10 of the Pentacles. I'm so excited. As part of my soon-to-be potential offering, I wonder, I love the waiting, divine timing. Is there a creative, artistic element also? Art, music, theatre, voice. Because you gave me 4 choices, I'm so happy. Now, Jenny has had readings with me, so she knows I love to do comparison spreads. It's one of my favorite things to do. In a comparison spread, what I do is I choose a card for each of those that she just mentioned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one for art, one for music, one for theatre, one for voice. Now, the question before that was, is there a creative, artistic element? Is there? So we're going to say, is there? This is a yes and no. There is. Why? Because it's being offered from spirit. You may not see it. It may not come to you in the form of art, music, theatre, or voice. It may come in a little differently. That's interesting, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, because of this card, I'm going to choose one, which would be one for art, one for music, one for theatre, one for voice, and then another one for this curler, which is an artistic element that you're not familiar with, that might be attached with, that we can attach, but will become obvious once it's being offered, right? So here we go. 1 for art, 1 for music, 1 for theatre, 1 for voice, and the one for the one that you might see it as an artistic. Here we go. So I get out of all of these, and I'm going to show you. This was art. This was music. This was theatre. And look at the theatre one, right? Isn't that great? There's like effort, because this is like the penultimate card, and we're going to be talking about this one. It's like the family, the emblem. They're in the castle. There's generations of people together. It's crazy how the ace is always coming up. Absolutely. This is a voice, right? And this is the one that we were like, okay, it might be something else, right? Could it be that? And I know that you are in the healing, you are a healer, right? And this is the healing card. The star card is the card for energy healing, because of the 8-pointed star, the 8 stars, this bird, the use of the water, the fact that she's grounded, she's grounding, she's open, she's vulnerable, she's open to the energy of the stars and the magic of the stars and the magic of the ascended masters bringing through all this healing, the angelic healing. This is really quite the card for the healing. So I would say that, yes, there's a sense of the energy healing arts in this one, which is very, very kind of strong. This is the voice, right? A little bit of confusion of how you would use your voice. So maybe that's what's sitting in your vibration at the moment. Like you're thinking, I don't quite know how I would use my voice. So that's just that, right? Potentially, it could be that. But the energy is strongest with here. It's so exciting. Love it. I love it too. This one is theatre. There's energy around theatre, right? And performance. Theatre, performance, collaboration. When you're standing at the front of a workshop, doing what I'm doing right here, right now, this sense of going live with yourself or with someone, with others. There's performance in that. This is music. So I don't know what your history with music is, because that's what's being projected into the future. Remember, the current moment, when we're projecting into the future, we project a lot of what we used to think. So I don't know if music felt a little bit hard, and this one being the voice, music and the voice seem to go together energetically, right? And here we have the art. So the art is also very strong. So I would take the art of all of those artistic elements, art, theater, and the healing are very strong of those suggestions. And you have a degree in theatre, fantastic. You're going to use it. You can't ever waste what you've spent time, living and experiencing, if the experience wasn't a positive one, because you learned something from that. And that learning comes into your spiritual path and your understanding, and you're moving forward of dropping programs, picking up new programs, saying, I'll never do that again. I'm going to do it this way next time. And so, all experiences are positive. So when it comes to voice, right, voice and music, I would say, is there anything that you feel holds you back in those two artistic endeavors? You could bring them all together, but these are the ones that are looking as comparison spirit. So the answer is yes. Yes, you will have your soon-to-be potential offering will be artistic in nature. Looking for a way to include it all. I believe you will. Have a look. Will Jenny be able to include it all? Absolutely. And it's almost like you'll be, remember the sword is an inspirational thought, an idea. It's like the light bulb goes over your head. And this will take you, overseas, because he's holding the world in his hand. And that may be because you're online and offering it overseas, or, in some other way. We may be flying. A lot of people have been traveling during this pandemic, but I don't know if you have, but if you've been holding back, it's potentially this would indicate some form of travel, desire to travel, certainly desire at the moment to take it beyond the walls of the castle. And look at the plush abundance. Look at all this plush land out here. There's just so much to look forward to. Right? So me now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my PDF. It's Learn to Read Tarot Shop PDF. There we are. It was November 20, March. And I'm going to pull up all the cards of the Pentacles. So we've done the Wands, we've done the Swords. Last week we did the Cups. And this week we are doing the Pentacles. So I'm just going to read a little bit from them. Hope you all don't mind. We have the Ace of Pentacles, and I'm going to find the Ace. We got that Pentacle. Bear with me as I pull all these cards out. So for anyone who's learning how to read the tarot, and if you already know how to read the tarots, I know a lot of people who tap in. I know Shelley's a seasoned reader, very mature tarot reader. Martha's got her deck. Brand new deck, maybe learning to read. Some people have been reading the Thoth cards. Some people have a special deck, and then they don't look like this, right? So I just teach of this one as like a template. And then once you know how to read cards, it's interesting. A friend of mine, Moira, her name is, she said she wanted to get to the Knights class. She kept missing me. She said, oh, I keep missing you. And I said, oh, why don't you come on? So I have met Moira through a psychic mediumship course, an evidential mediumship course, where we connect with people's loved ones in spirit. And that's another thing that I'll be doing a bit more of once I wrap up the show, that I'll be offering to connect with your loved ones in spirit, to practice the art. And hopefully one day we'll be doing galleries. That's even fun. A room full of people, and everyone's spirit people kind of lining up to have their message heard, right? There you go. That's 10. So my friend Moria said, oh, I don't know how to read the cards. I said, oh, I'll bring you on the show and we can read the cards together. And she was like, oh, I don't know how to read the cards. I've never done it. I said, oh, because I know she receives her information very strongly through her inner clairs, the inner sensing, right? Our thoughts, our feelings, our hearing, our sensing, vibrational, smelling, tasting, and usually that audience, hearing. Which one did I forget? Knowing, feeling, tasting, smelling. There's the Knight, the Page, the Queen, and the King. And so I said, so all you have to do is hold a card and then tap into all of your clairs. And that's essentially what we do. Now, it just so happens that I've the tarot and the symbols in the tarot along the way, and it is fun to do that because they're purposefully, and it's nice to know what they mean and what those symbols, right? Because you want to connect to that which this person, you want to connect to the direct meaning. 1, 2, I'm missing the Three of Pentacles, one of my favorite cards, the collaboration one. There it is, the Three of Pentacles, the wonderful woman. There she is. We found her. All right, here we go. So the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles represents the root powers of the earth. So very, very grounded cards. By the time you get to the Pentacles, you're really talking about the material, physical well-being of the soul on earth, and also about the abundance that we have in this 3-dimension. Plant growth. Look at the lilies are growing. You've got this wonderful fence that is made out of flowers. See these roses growing on that fence? Aren't they beautiful? The lilies in the foreground. You've got Pamela Coleman Smith's, excuse my dirty fingernails. We've been out in the grass and dirt everywhere today. So there's Pamela Coleman Smith's signature. She puts her signature on every card. More lilies here. The mountains, high mountains in the background. The lilies growing. Remember, the lilies represent pure spirit and connection to spirit through their white. And there are the gifts of the earth. And remember this fantastic path that opens up ahead of us that helps us understand that you are on the right path. The Ace of Pentacles is always a yes. It's always a new opportunity to walk a new path, a new experience in the physical. Can represent money, which is the word that I was trying to think of before, a golden opportunity, a new job, a new house, a new business, a baby, money, studying, something that will be long-lasting and have long positive effects, long-reaching positive effects. Something material will manifest. And, a validation card, this is always great to see. Path that opens for other opportunities to come along. And when we have the next card, pop up, the Two of Pentacles. And we've talked about him before. He's a Sufi dancer with his hat on. He can also sometimes be considered a dunce, right? So the Two of Pentacles represents harmonious change. Jupiter in Capricorn. Again, a grounded card. Jupiter in Capricorn. A young man dressed in red, very passionate, but not capable. Is he capable? Is he not capable? Is he stable? Is he not stable? Is he dancing? Is he having fun? Well, if we look at let's have a look at his facial expression, right? So in his facial expression, he looks a little worried, that he might topple over. So the facial expression always says a lot for these figures in the tarot cards in the Rider-Waite. I think his dress is very smart. Well coordinated, very passionate, knows what he wants, right? Knows what he wants, but not sure that he can handle it right now. And the twos, remember, are always two opposing effects. In the Two of Swords, we had the Two Swords preventing this person from knowing the truth or tapping into the truth. And the encouragement of the Two of Swords is to go in. And here you have this person this is really about, balance, becoming balanced. These two opposing. So remember the Tibetans talk about the middle way, but you can't walk the middle path unless you've known the opposites. You can't just live in the one positive light if you haven't known darkness, right? The light has no meaning if you don't know what darkness is. And so that's why we come into the physical world, to experience the power of the light and to embrace so much more of what we see and experience and bring that into the light. That is all the light, but we can't do that until we experience both. We have to fully be in the shadow or the dark, or we have to fully be in the light, but we need both to be able to walk the middle way. So he's not walking in the middle. He's not, because we see his emotions are up and down. There's one big boat, one little boat. So we know that there's no balance here. He's juggling things. He's busy, right? So on a material aspect, this could just mean that someone's busy. He's not getting ahead with things. Now, this looks like an old dunce hat, an old don't know what to do hat. Might be dealing with more than she can handle, right? Avoiding the emotions, these emotions on the waves. Combined with the other cards, say the Three of Wands or the Chariot, or we have some ships, remember, in the Three of Wands. Cards that are travel cards. It can be a travel card. So, hey, looks like your ship's coming in. It's not coming in right now, but it's very soon to arrive. Hopefully the seas will, flatten out and allow the arrival. But there is travel happening here. And combined with these other cards, there's the Holy Lemniscate. So this infinity symbol is also very important, because that's what I was talking about in terms of, cycles, understanding that we go from one to the other. If we experience happiness, we're at some point going to experience sadness. If we experience sadness, we can look forward to the happiness, right? We just know that there has to be balance, and we don't have to suffer when we're experiencing either if we are not attached. So this is the lesson. The high spiritual lesson is, when you're going to the light, don't get too attached to the light. When you're going into the dark, don't be too attached to the dark either. Just remain, there's this word called equanimity, and I want to look it up just so that I can know what, for myself. Equanimity. Why not? Because we're here together and we can look it up. Equanimity means the quality of being calm and even-tempered, and composure, evenness of mind or temper, calmness or firmness, especially under conditions adapted to excite great emotion. So where there's great emotion, you would be evenness of mind. Wonderful. Okay, I'd love to get some equanimity in my life. I'm sure we all could. We would all benefit from it. So this is what this card encourages, right? Equanimity. The Three of Pentacles, collaboration, creativity. The number 3 being manifestation and creativity, material works. So something's happening here to create something beautiful. For who? For God. These are the Masons, right? And they always remind me of those artists, Piero della Francesca and all these other artists who were painting these murals on the walls of the churches. And, here they are, and these people are offering their goods to the artist who's working. Or maybe they're showing the plans. These are the people that own the building, and they're showing the plans to the worker and the creator, the artist, and saying, hey, we want it to look more like this, or can you please do this for us? So this card represents work, study, creativity, art, artistic endeavors. Could also be merchants. Excuse me. Merchants selling their wares. Excuse me. We create through our throat chakra, right? Because what we speak is manifested. So I'm clearing my throat chakra. Excuse me. So work elevated. So your work can be elevated when you're doing it for a higher purpose, right? There's something very, very beautiful about this, because when we do this, so for example, some of the Egyptian art and painting, and even the early Renaissance, when they were painting to inspire the viewer to connect with God. And when they were painting scenes of the Bible, there was always this sense of the vertical wanting to uplift and draw one into the higher dimensions through the painting. So there's also some element of that in this. What's the purpose? Is there a higher spiritual purpose of that which you're doing in the physical? Could also represent communal living. This is also a number 3, right? A manifestation number. So combined with other 3s, amplifies the power of the 3 in the manifestation. And here we come to a 4, and 4 is always a very stable card. Sun in Capricorn, and Capricorns are very, very grounded, aren't they? So here is someone who's looks like he's a bit overdressed for the weather, lots of clothing on, sitting in what looks like a very self-protective posture, wouldn't you say? And sitting on the outskirts. So this person could be a merchant. And remember, the cups tended to represent merchants. So I just want to go back. Sorry, not the cups, the pentacles. Forgive me. So the pentacles, during the Middle Ages, the merchants and the wealthy people exchanged money, right? Whereas other people bartered. They would barter their goods, and the only people who used money were the very wealthy. And so it's a symbol of abundance and protection. And money is a symbol of status and security nowadays, but it didn't ever used to be, right? And some people who don't have money, they don't understand its significance. That it has no significance where it's not used. In our society, it's held very high, and people want to accrue more and more and more of it, regardless of what cost it brings them. Some people end up in jail because of their obsession with creating more money. What this signifies, this number 4, is that this person is wanting to create stability and security with their money. So there's something around security, something around sort of holding close, not letting go. Sometimes that can indicate that. Oh, it's just behind. And, so this person's posture and also his or hers facial expression. This person's not moving. There's a certain stubbornness in this nature, right? There's a certain stubbornness in this person's pose, and I'm not moving. I'm not giving anything. Even though I can't hold the pentacle on my head, I'm not going to give it to you. It's not available. But it does indicate, because it's number 4, that more is coming. We have a stage here. Remember, the stage indicates what's underneath the surface. Is money sort of more important to this person than anything else? Could this mean, when the card comes up, that you're thinking about money too much? And I've talked a lot about the balance of the chakras, right, and getting very grounded. The 5 of Pentacles, the 5, remember, is always a challenge card. So when it comes to this card, where we are standing outside, someone's disabled, someone's very cold, it looks like it could be snowing. Certainly snow on the ground. And there's a peppering of dots on the page. It could just be the outside of the building of the church, or it could be that it's snowing. We don't have any snow over the lead light window, but this lead light window, it's almost like a half tree of life. And the reason the 5 pentacles are there is because the 5 is telling us that even in the misery of the not having not having physical wealth, which is not having the money wealth, that there is the potential for spiritual wealth, because it's at the times when we don't have that, we turn to spirit, right? When things aren't going our way physically, financially, that we look for guidance. And that's what this card's talking about. It's very powerful. God will always help you in need, right? So these people are poor, they're destitute, they may be homeless, they may be mental illness. Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Could this figure be indicating that? feeling ousted or rejected by society, rejected by the church even. These people are not inside the church. Potentially they could get some haven in the church, but we don't know that. That's not being shown to us here. They're outside of the church. Did they knock on the door and then have to walk away? We don't know what the story is. But when you're reading these cards in the middle of a reading, you're going to get a whiff of what it means intuitively through your inner senses. Now, I've been talking now and I can't see the... Excuse me. So G asked, oh, my stream is buffering. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's a... yeah, I've had a look at a couple of videos. Is everything going okay? I'm just taking the microphone. Let me know. I don't know what to do. I have to sort of go outside and tell everybody to get off their iPads, and we're almost at the end. I'm so sorry. It's not. It doesn't feel good to watch someone whose stream is buffering all the time and you can't hear them. It's quite annoying. So Ali says the Four of Pentacles always looked to me that guy is stubborn. Yes, right. And it's interesting because he's a Capricorn. Does anyone know any stubborn Capricorns? My dad's a Capricorn. And G, I'm fine. Is the bottom of that symbol an anchor? Are you talking about the G? Are you talking about the Prima Prana Hootie? It is an anchor. Yeah, absolutely. It's like an anchor. It's actually a begging bowl. Now, and that's kind of to keep us humble, right? Oh, with the two people. I just thought of the other symbol. The symbol, yes. And actually, doesn't that feel a little similar? Doesn't this look similar? I've never actually made this comparison before, but thank you, G. This one with the two people, is this the one you're talking about? I've confused you, have I? So this symbol, I mean, I see a lot of similarity. Oh, Jenny says I'm the stubborn Capricorn too, but on the cusp of Aquarius. Oh, that's funny. So, yeah, at the bottom, it is an anchor. I mean, it does look like an anchor, absolutely. But this is also the, symbol and represents the tree of life, right? And you can see almost at the top, it looks to almost be like another pentacle up here. And remember, and I didn't talk about this, but the pentacle is this 5-pointed star, which represents the connection of, look at all this paint on my hand from the painting today, represents the connection of all the elements together, the air, fire, water, earth, and ether, right? And that's those 5 elements are the elements that are all throughout our physical existence. The two people that are stuck in the way, yes. Are they going to, so this card also represents the victim consciousness, right? And, only seeing oneself in terms of how the world happens to me, as opposed to the very self-empowered being how I am in the world and how I interact with the world and what my thoughts, words, and actions mean in the world, and how I take responsibility for myself in the world, as opposed to someone who is potentially depending on others to make decisions for them, to give them clothes, to give them money, to give them sustenance, to give them shelter, right? And at some point, it's okay if we have to be here. We need help. It's great to accept help. It's good to be in receipt. And then once we have that, our cup is full, and then we understand how to start, how to connect, overflow, and then give, right? That's the cycle. But yeah, this is almost the same. I've never thought about this symbol being the Prima Prana Hootie symbol with the begging bowl at the bottom. But thank you for that thought, Dee. I almost dropped it on the ground. A minute. Second. So pop it up. So we're going through. We've got 5 more cards to do, and here comes the number 6. So the number 5 and the number 6 are almost connected, aren't they? Why? Because you have the two people who are begging, and here they are. They've sort of stopped. It's now the daylight has broken, and they've met someone who's helping them. So that's why the sixes, remember, are always a success card. So here they were potentially begging for money or begging for help, begging for energy, begging for, or, looking for a job or feeling like there wasn't one, but connecting spiritually, understanding how to manifest that which we desire. We don't have what we desire right now, but we want to know how to manifest it. And here they've manifested it, right? They've manifested it. They manifested this person to give them money. And this card is a very powerful card. It's all about power, relationships, and the balance of power. Why? Because this person is holding a weight balance, which the Justice card, Lady Justice, also holds that balance, doesn't she? And it's almost exactly the same one. So here we have a merchant-like person who's saying, I'll give you some money, and is weighing out the money. How much should I give you based on XYZ? So is there a sense of fairness here? Maybe this person is doing it fairly because they've got the balance here. So we talked about the Six of Pentacles now. It's the moon in Taurus, material success. So this person, so you may identify as these people or as this person here. So someone who is in the position to, and has an abundance of resources, and in a position to others, to give to charity, right? Very powerful card. Is there any inequality, right? Is there any inequality? Who are you focusing on? What's the feeling like? A division of funds. So this card sometimes comes up for people who are in divorce and they're dividing up money. A separation card, giving to charity. We've indicated all of that. The Seven of Pentacles is, by the time we get to the seven now, we've gotten to the point where all the work they've been doing is starting to accrue. We're starting to see some fruit. And the eight is the ultimate, where we see all the fruits of our labor coming toward us. So here is the Seven of Pentacles, and we have this man in his work clothes, this figure who's taking a rest, but we understand that there's more work to do. So here he's gathered up all of these pentacles, and all of these, harvest is here, but there's still more work to do. Hasn't quite sort of brought this over. This person is working towards a goal or working hard, but not as hard as this guy, right? Now, by the time you go from here to here you've got some serious hard work happening and some serious karmic reward, right? So everything that you have done before this point, be it in your career, be it in finances, be it in the project that you're working on, be it in whatever life goal that you're working towards, you're starting to see some results, and your efforts are sort of piling up. Not your efforts, your rewards are piling up. You may not see them necessarily, but they're definitely coming to you. Right? Is this what you really want? And the good thing about this is, it looks like this figure loves what they're doing. This figure is lovingly looking at this pentacle and working with it. Very, very focused work. Really, this is a beautiful card. I love this card. And this is, again, in combination with the Three of Pentacles, would indicate like an artist at work, working on something that they love to do, and working hard, working solo here, right? So if this is someone who works for themselves, they're just getting the jobs done because they've already had the orders. The orders have been put in, and now this is growth. This is also a success card, right? Like the Six. And here we go into even more success. Can you have more success than the 8 card? Yes, you can, because you're now going to go into 9 and 10. So the 9 card takes you into, this is the abundance card. This is the abundance consciousness card. Here is a woman who has the money to, have her own falcon and fly this falcon. This is Sun in Virgo. And the last one was Saturn in Taurus. So the previous two were Taurus. This is Virgo, 8 of Pentacles, hard worker. And the 9, working, studying very hard. Oh, no, that was the 8. Sorry, 8 and 9. 9 is Venus in Virgo. Here we go. That makes more sense. Venus in Virgo, because the energy of this is very quiet, very, content. There's a sense that once you have worked this hard, you're now in the receiving mode, right? Which is connected to the divine feminine. And so in this receiving of the abundance, you can just rest. There's really nothing to do. This woman is still, she's not in motion. And in fact, there's a little snail at the bottom here. So that would also indicate that, there's a slowing down now. You don't really need to work hard as you did the 8 of Pentacles. You can just rest back and reap the rewards of your previous efforts. This is a really great card, and this is a very balanced card. Although it's an odd number, there's a lot of balance in this card because these 2 trees. Working solo, depending on oneself and not on anyone else. Fulfillment through work and career, self-actualization, prosperity, abundance. We've already mentioned lots of words here. And here we have the penultimate, Mercury in Virgo. This is a security, stability, success. There's a fulfillment here. The pentacles are in the configuration, 10 pentacles in the configuration of the tree of life. And for those that study the Kabbalah, you would understand what that means. You could tell me. Culmination of all the 10s of the 10s. So you have the 10 of wands, the 10 of swords, the 10 of cups, and now the 10 of pentacles. And the 10 of pentacles is a combination of all of the other suits, because all the other suits are represented in the pentacle. And the pentacle, remember, has the extra leg, which is the ether, the spiritual. And so this person is very, very physically happy with their attainment in the world. Look at all those emblems. Look at that beautiful tapestry on the wall. There's an old man with a wonderful coat. And there are several generations of people. The dogs, they look like hunting dogs. That's the 1 to 10. Congratulations, everybody. We did it. The 1 to 10 of the Pentacles. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you so much to Jenny and to Ali who asked their questions. Oh, Ali, I missed you. Aligned relationships. Hello. Ali, the 7, the plants are growing. 8, the tree is fully grown, so you can start working on it. That's so true. Right? Let me go back to the 7 and the 8. Here they are. Yes, absolutely. So the plant's growing, not quite there yet. And by 8 and by 9, by 9 they're fully grown, right? The 7, the 8, and the 9. By 9, that you're right there. You're done. And you really need no effort, because the momentum of doing all this hard work just starts to roll all the pentacles in. And then you just got the 10, which is the absolute. 9 is the end, and 10 is absolute completion. Oh, thank you so much. We did it. Thank you. From my heart to yours, I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next week at 6 p.m. EDT. Please share with your friends. Please like this video. Please book in for a reading with me if you want to. And thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.